Big news around the paddock, and specifically for the Aston Martin team. Something that they have needed to do and something that is coming up. Specifically in 2026 is a new engine deal that is being negotiated that could be a very big deal for the Aston Martin team, as well as F1 as a sport. Right now we have 4 different engine manufacturers, and Mercedes takes up 4 cars, Ferrari takes up 3, Honda takes up 2, and 1 is taken up by Renault. The best teams and the teams that really have the most advantage within this is Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, and Alpine. Aston Martin is a team that made a huge step up in this year. I mean, going from an insane number 9 of last year, really throughout the whole entire year, going off of really pace, and now second off of race pace merit. I mean, it's an insane jump, but something that really lacks in that car is the back of the car. And I'll talk about why this engine deal could change everything for them in 2026 and make them the team favorite going into the new regulations. Now, this Honda deal, the reason why it's so big is because it will allow for that rear of the Aston Martin car to look like how they would like it to look like. Right now, the car that's in second place, that's really this fast, that has amazing downforce, is still half Mercedes, let's be honest. They had to go off of a car they made their best version of how the concept should have looked like that Mercedes thought they executed with the no side pods. It's now a design that's really half and half, and I guess we have to thank Mercedes for the downforce aspect, but the actual straight line speed and what's not making them number 1 is because of the rear of the car and the drag that's getting caught there. A new rear wing is being introduced in Baku, so yes, that will probably shred the drag, but the real big essential problem is the way that diffuser setup is set up, and that all has to do with the engine. The engine and the gearbox really determine how the back of the car will look like. Now, if you don't have the right spec for that and you can't really modify how you would like the engine to fit perfectly in that car, I mean, through the years we've seen, and I'll give you an example as to how really the engine manufacturers for really 2021 between 2017, how Mercedes specific cars had to be done. When you look at those cars, they all had that really engine bump because they knew putting it all together like that and really suffocating the engine was the best part about it. That was what Mercedes was able to achieve. Some other cars on the grid could not do that with other engine manufacturers. Now this year, I guess there's a downside to it because the gearbox is a lot bigger for the car and the engine is bigger too. So the way that the rear of the car is made is different, also resulting in a car that needs to be made in a very specific way towards Aston Martin. Now, if they're able to achieve that full entire thing, that's a different story. Dan Fallows has now a car where he can fully go in on and really make a beauty out of it. Another big reason, and really what I find the biggest reason as to how this can really benefit this Aston Martin team. So, straight line speed, the biggest topic for this actual team. Not just that though, the actual ERS system with Mercedes has always been weaker since Honda has been now in the sport. ERS is very important, and even 2023 and going on into 2025. Now when the regulations change in 2026, ERS will probably be the most important thing on the grid because of the whole 50-50 electric 50 gas. This will be a very essential part to cars being able to fly on the straights and how well they can do in both qualifying and in the race, depending on how they save that ERS or how they tend to spend it. Now, if the car is very good at using it, like this Red Bull is, the RB19, the RB18, and even the 17 were all fantastic at using ERS. And that has to do with Honda, because they provide a lot of electric cars or even hybrid cars in their real life day-to-day basis. It is something that Honda has the advantage on over Mercedes, even though Mercedes is building electric cars. And guess what? They could be the team that actually ramps it up in 2026 to step it up, but Honda has been the top, and I do not expect them to drop. Giving this advantage to Aston Martin would be huge if they can already build a downforce monster. I think Red Bull took a very big risk actually taking Ford over Honda. I guess they saw something that really no other team on the grid did, and Ford did make good engines in the past for F1, but Honda is right now, I would say, probably where the best engines are at. Sure, they are RBR powertrains, but that's thanks to Honda. So this new big innovation for Aston Martin could shape up the car to be completely different in an amazing aspect and really give them a whole different looking type of grid. It gives us now 5 cars that'll have 5 different engine manufacturers. Not to speak of, there are actually 6 different engine manufacturers now, so 6 different engine manufacturers going into this season will be insane, and the racing will be crazy. I guess we have to see what RBR can really pull out with their new ERS system, and whether Ferrari can actually compete, even though they don't make many real-life cars that are electric cars. It'll definitely be a big shape-up, and it'll be something to look at throughout the whole entire year. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Do you guys think this is as big of a deal as people are making it out to seem, or it's a little bit less? Please let me know your thoughts down below. Please leave a like, subscribe, it would mean the world, and peace.